What's up, folks? Today we're going to take the first step of our journey into the cyber fantasy solo skirmish world of Chrome Hammer Ascension. This is a really exciting day. Now, the first thing we've got to do to be able to play the game is we have to assemble a crew of punks. So that's where this journey has to begin. To build our crew in this game is fairly straightforward. It's rolling up a punk member is not difficult. You can randomize it. They give you charts with your 1 through 6, roll a d6, and that's what they are. If you want to do it that way, I am choosing to go through and pick the things out for myself. So I want to play a wide range of the meta types as much as possible because I have the opportunity to do so here. So we're going to start with our meta types, and we get 5 people. 6 options are dwarf, elf, human, orc, revenant, and troll. For my initial loadout, my initial setup, and you can swap out punks pretty much anytime you want. At some point you're going to have to because they may get doxed or jumped or captured or whatever. But to start things off, I'm going to use a human, followed by another human, followed by a lol troll, followed by an elf, and finally a dwarf. Next step, select a background. Your starting race meta type will determine your starting stat line as well as any special abilities that you might have as racial abilities. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those recorded along with some names. All right, so we got names and stat lines recorded. We got Johnny Redhand, Kit, Rocco McCready, Copperhead, and Felix Wellington, who was actually named by Dudeland, one of our Patreon supporters. So there he is, man, ready to hit the table and do what lol troll do. Bringing us to backgrounds. Now, backgrounds don't actually, I don't think, give you much in terms of rules. They just give you a little bit of flavor on the back end, a little bit of spice. So for your backgrounds, you have 6 options: Cypher, Ganger, Non Grata, Vagabond, Veteran, or Zealot. Now these, like I said, these do not come with rules. However, I have seen some of the city events as well as some of the glitches, I believe, can interact with certain backgrounds. So I'm going with Gangers for Johnny and Felix because they've been running the streets together for a long time now. Kit is a non grata, which means she's ex Megacorp. Copperhead is a vet, so she's ex military. And Rocco McCready is a cipher because there's a line in the cipher background that is the most dwarfish thing that I can imagine. You're basically just a nobody. Yeah, you're out, you're fighting the good fight, but you don't really have a cause. You're just trying to get by. And it says that while you're fighting the good fight now, you would much rather be home with a nice dinner and some fine pipe weed. And that's some dwarfy stuff to me right there. One more thing about your backgrounds as well as your roles, and this is one thing that I neglected to mention, is that while they specifically do not give you access to or give you a special ability, when you get to your edges, which is the next step after roles, your roles and your edges will determine what edges or special abilities and things that you have access to. So there is that. From a roles, you've got face, hacker, Ronin, mage, noob, runner, or shadow. All right, so playing further into, building out, kind of fleshing out a little bit of a backstory. And I don't want to get too attached to them because they might die. But I want to have a little bit of backstory fun with them. So, again, Johnny and Felix have known each other for a long time. They've been running the streets for a while. Johnny operates as the face of the duo, while Felix operates as a runner because he's a big, beefy troll. He's pretty safe to move things around the city as need be. Now, Rocco, playing into his Cypher background, is a hacker because a lot of his work he can do from home with his fine dinner and his pipe weed. Copperhead, ex-vet, she's a shadow. She is moving through. She's not into putting herself into unnecessary risk to get the job done. If she can get it done sneakily, that will be her first and foremost plan. And then because I refuse to play a cyberpunk game or cyber fantasy game where I do not have a street samurai, Kit will be my Ronin. Which will bring us into edges. You get one edge to start off, and that's it. No gear, no nothing. You just get one edge, and again, the edges play into your either your background or your role. And I do have a small personal gripe here. I wish that the edges here were sorted by background and role. So like all the hacker ones are together, all the shadow ones together, because it can be it's easy to miss something that might be really, really cool if you're not paying super careful attention and going through everything. So I'm going to get some edges picked out for this team, and then we're going to be almost ready to hit the tape. Okay. After much deliberation, I settled on taking the coordinate, which is a face edge for Johnny Redhand, which allows him, once he has initiated a firefight, any allies that also engage in that firefight range are at -2 target number, which is pretty good. Kit is going to have no time to bleed, +2 HP, because I want her to be getting in people's faces, so I want her to have be a little bit beefier. Rocco McCready is going to be Leet, which is -1 to hack data terminals. Copperhead is going to have Backstab, which is that if she's assaulting someone while hidden, if their die shows a 6, the opponent is fragged on the spot. And then Felix Wellington will have Parkour, which is a runner edge that says that if I move out and I come into contact with a building, I can use the remaining movement. I can spend the rest of the movement to move up a story of that building. So that can put him into a position to get high ground and just waylay folks with this big rail gun that he's carrying around. So that will bring us to the end of characters, teams, heroes. The punks are assembled. The Band of the Red Hand is here and ready to go. Last thing we got to do is figure out who we're fighting. PDF does have a handy dandy sheet for this that you can print out and use to record it. It's 3 of these. It looks like this right here. However, I forgot to print those, or I forgot to have those printed. So I'm just going to write it down. Now we've got 2 charts here. You can do this as a campaign as fighting a single corporation, 2 corporations, or 3 corporations. I'm going to, for this initial, just going to do a single corporation. Now we've got charts so that you can roll for the investment, and you can roll for the CEO that is in charge of that investment. And that will tell you who you're going to be fighting and what kind of protocols they're going to have. I am going to choose these based on the models that I have in my collection. So for my investments, I'm going to do cybernetics. And for my CEO, it's going to be a dragon. If you were to choose a human or to roll a human, the humans don't have their own set of reinforcements and protocols, so you would choose a second investment, and that would give you the other half of what you need to know. The goal here is to get all of the pay data. You need 1 of each of these pay data to go and fight the CEO. Once you have 1 of each, you can fight the CEO of that corporation and take them down. Extra ones that you have, you can sell off. You get these from hacking terminals and things of that nature. There is a table in the back that has all the edges together, but it doesn't tell you what they do. Just gives you the name of them, which works. So if you wanted to roll and randomize the edges your punks get, you are able to do that. So here we go to this at the beginning of the scenario section, page 44. It'll tell you what the reinforcements are as well as what the protocols are. So it's good to just write these down so that you can very quickly, easily, and since I didn't print out the thing, I'm just going to make myself a little table, easy peasy. And with a little bit of bookkeeping done, we're ready to move forward. Got all my reinforcements, which are the bad guys I'll have to fight. Got all my protocols, which are the things that the enemy will do to me and the board through the process of a game, and got a spot to record my pay data. Also have my investment and CEO listed at the top. I'll think up of a name, a cool name for them maybe at some point, but not right this second. And at that, we're ready to jump into the world. We're ready to jump into the first campaign turn of Chrome Hammer Ascension, and I am super excited. We're going to jump into that in our next Chrome Hammer video. Until then, thank you for coming by, hanging out while we got set up to roll some dice today. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And as always, I'd like to say a big, huge, from the bottom of my heart, thank you To our patrons who support us and pledge to us over on Patreon, you guys are the absolute best. If you enjoyed the content you saw here today and that's something that you would like to consider doing to help out the channel, go over there, check out the link in the description, check out the Patreon. There's a lot of cool stuff over there, including access to our Discord server. Talk to me, hang out with me, talk about our work, what we got going on in the hobby, some shout outs, all kinds of cool stuff. Check it out if that's something that you think you would be into. And regardless of whether or not you do that, I want you to know that I am incredibly grateful that you decided to stop by and spend part of your day with me today, rolling dice and pushing toy soldiers around. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And as always, may the dice be ever in your favor.